the Bliss Business Podcast, the show about empathy, connection, and consciousness in business. Today's episode is brought to you by Zero Company, your paid search, social media, and programmatic ad experts.
Welcome back to the Bliss Business Podcast series, Scaling with Purpose. These are our quick listen shows where we explore how to embed purpose into every level of your organization. I'm Steven Zakesh here with Tulio Siragusa and Ashmar. Hey, guys.
Hello. Good to be back.
So today we're focusing on purpose-driven hiring. Hiring aligned individuals is about more than just filling roles. It's about finding people who deeply connect with your company's mission and values, ensuring they drive and grow alongside your purpose. So hiring the right people. These are those who genuinely resonate with an organization's purpose. This can transform a team. They bring energy and passion, which creates a ripple effect on culture and performance. Tulio.
You know, that's such an important thing, hiring for alignment. And often people will say hire people that are similar or that fit in, but it's really more about alignment. And it's about, a good concept that not only creates a good feeling with everyone because you have a sense of alignment, but it's also a strategic advantage, because employees that are aligned with the purpose also bring more motivation, more energy. They're more collaborative, and they have a longer term commitment to the organization because it resonates with who they are. And that's the key thing.
Yeah, Ash, as Tulio mentioned, it's not just about this sort of feel-good thing. It can really matter to the bottom line in terms of retention and effort, right?
Oh, no, absolutely. There's definitely a trend in people hiring or companies hiring for alignment. There's actually a LinkedIn study. Let me read it to you guys. It says 87% of millennials value purpose over paycheck, making alignment critical for attracting top talent. When employees connect with your purpose, they're not just doing a job, they're contributing to a mission. The sense of meaning boosts engagement and retention. And that was a study done by LinkedIn. Now, I know Tulio, Patagonia is really good at this. Can you give me some examples?
Yeah, actually, that's a great example. I mean, when you look at Patagonia, what's their purpose? The purpose is saving our home planet. It's not saving the planet, it's saving our home planet. I mean, it's very purposeful, the words being used. It's bringing it about, making it our home, right? So, and they hire people who really are passionate about the environment and environmental conservation. And this alignment ensures that all the employees live this company value, creating cohesion and also a very motivated workforce. Imagine you hire someone who didn't care. It would be very difficult for them to align with the culture. They'd be going like swimming against the stream to a certain degree, right? So alignment hiring is really about reducing cultural friction. And the reality is that's really the job of a CEO, to remove the friction points. So if you have the culture where you're focusing on a purpose and you gain alignment around that purpose and you hire people where it's a like attracts alike kind of thing, you have more purpose-driven employees that are more likely to support the values of the company and collaborate and also create more innovation because they believe in what they're doing. It's something that's not just a job for them, it's who they are, it's their life. And Patagonia really exemplifies this. They've continuously, long-term, been able to live up to the standard of this purpose and attract the right kind of people. They're a very unique culture as a business.
I think about like when I walk into an REI or something, you're going to buy some hiking boots or something like that. You genuinely sense this higher purpose among all the employees that, they really are passionate about what they're doing. And so it's like, how do you get there with your own employees when you're hiring? So one of the things you really got to do is, clearly define your purpose. If it's not clearly communicated, you're going to attract, the wrong candidate. And a lot of times it's, communicated in very vague ways. And that's usually where the problem is. But in job postings, don't just list, responsibilities, highlight your mission and your values. So instead of saying, yeah, we're hiring a software developer, frame it as join us to build technology that empowers communities to access clean water. Something, you could have two different jobs. You really want one who's going to embrace that purpose, right?
And there's no better way to do that, Stephen, than at the hiring process. Not only, as you mentioned, you want to make that clear that what your purpose is, but even the questions you ask when interviewing a candidate, it's not so much to. It's important to make sure they have the skill set that's necessary, but gauging the alignment is critically important too. Asking questions like, how do you see your personal values aligning with the company's mission? You want to get to the root of what's in their heart. Like, why are you, you might ask the question, why do you want to work for us, right? That's a very typical question. And it's like, to me, it's just a dumb question, right? It's like, why do you want to work for us? But the better question is more like, how does your personal values align with what we're trying to accomplish as a company? How does it support you on your journey to fulfilling your own purpose and to bring into life your own values? That's a very different conversation, because you're looking for candidates who are going to light up when they're talking about their own purpose, so that you're going to get this excitement and this motivation. And it's really trying to figure out what motivates them beyond the financial rewards at work, and that's a question to ask as well, maybe later. But the most important question, I think, is really just trying to help them see how what they believe in already aligns with what the company does. And sometimes it's very eye-opening even to the candidate. They might realize, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this aligns. Or if they have a hard time answering the question, they might realize themselves that's a misalignment too.
And that's absolutely correct, Julio. I mean, when you think about it, it's a huge missed opportunities when companies are just hiring based on skill. They bring in what could potentially be an atomic bomb. When you have when you have companies that are aligned, challenges arise internally. It happens, right? But when everyone's aligned in the same vision, you're able to get through those challenges. I think another thing, to take into consideration during that hiring process is assessing their purpose, right? Trying to take into consideration, asking assessment-based questions to see, hey, does this individual's purpose and alignment align with our purpose and goals? Knowing that when we bring that individual into the company, that when we go through challenges, we're going to rise together because we're all aligned, right? I think that's another missed opportunity that most employers don't do. They don't assess and they don't ask those purpose-driven questions.
One of the things we've done a lot more of lately is involve our employees in the process. So, you want the people they're going to be working with, to see how they kind of vibe with each other. So in a self-managed company, the team, they kind of do the hiring process, right? You say, hey, you're going to be working with us, so we're really going to dive into things, not just from a technical standpoint, but just seeing how they get along, right? But our employees who've been here for so long, they kind of embody that purpose. And so they can kind of bring that out so that you can align with the potential employee. And it's really kind of magical too, when you just kind of back away and let them kind of do it. And, I know that may be hard for some leaders to let go of the reins on things, but if you really want to get them aligned, bring in the people they're going to be in the trenches with. Ash, how do we overcome some challenges here in this process? What are kind of the challenges you see?
One challenge is balancing technical expertise and cultural alignment. Well, skills are important. When you bring someone that doesn't align with your values and your culture, when challenges arise internally, that person becomes really, really difficult to work with. It's like almost you're letting in a lion into your department that can eat you up when challenges arise. So I actually had an example like that. It was pretty crazy where I missed the opportunity of hiring based on purpose. Didn't even bother to ask the questions. We brought in a highly skilled individual that once they entered the den, we realized that they didn't align with our values. And when challenges arose, they really made it hard for the team members, not only within our department, but cross department. performance. So it is definitely a huge missed opportunity when you're only looking for the skilled labor versus someone who's purposeful and aligns with your values, because the skills can get there when the intent is there.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because a lot of times leaders feel pressured to prioritize speed of hiring over purpose. And especially during high growth periods, I've seen organizations who got like a Series B funding. It was one company I was working with. They got $100 million Series B funding, and they needed to hire like 70 software developers really fast.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, how's that going to impact the organization, right? But when you make rushed hires that don't align, it can cost far more in the long run. So it's really important to align quality over speed. And the other thing too, and this we've talked about this, the importance of having the purpose defined and having it defined by the collective wisdom of the employees. Because when you hire someone, you actually can go have them visit the exercise that we did as a company and say, you know what, you should go and enter your own purpose and values on that sheet, because every other employee did it. But before you do that, check out what every other employee did, so you can get familiar with how we got here. And I just did that this week, in fact, with one of our new hires. It's like, go look through that and then enter your own. Even though you didn't participate when we did this, you still want to kind of sort of tag your name of what matters to you, so you feel like you have a connection even to the past and you've made your mark on that. So it's so important, and it makes people feel like they belong to something meaningful, and it enhances the alignment. But leaders who rush, they miss out on that, and it's a big risk rushing to hire without ensuring alignment.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times when I'm going through the hiring process, it's like part of it's we want to make sure the technical skills are there. We get a feel for where their skills are and all that. And once that's established, the rest of the interview, I'm just trying to find, more about this person, what they do outside of work, just getting a real feel for this person, and seeing, ultimately we want to see whether, hey, do we want to work together? And can you do that in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes? I think so. It's, if you're asking the right questions. So anyway, let's recap here a little bit. So make sure, if you want to hire, purpose-driven people, there's some things you want to make sure you're doing there. So you want to build your teams that are aligned with your missions. This is going to boost engagement, retention, and growth. You want to make sure your purpose is really defined in your materials. Don't keep it vague. And then we talked about like asking purpose-focused questions during the interviews, and use purpose-aligned assessments in that process. So that's really important, and involve employees in the process. I can't stress that enough. So the candidates you hire today shape your company's future. So make sure you prioritize that alignment with your purpose. In our next episode of Scaling with Purpose, we'll explore developing purpose-focused onboarding process, so you ensure your new hires feel connected to the mission from day one. We'll see you on the next Bliss Business Podcast.